Oh shit! It did it again. It's supposed to loop. Anyways, we're live. Let's just here. Here. Hold on. Wait. Ready?
I wasn't done.
Welcome to the BAM Sports Show.
I carefully place all of it in various trash cans around.
Any other headlines you guys are interested in tomorrow?
I'll poop in a urinal.
It's going to be a wet one.
He shoots. He scores. You suck.
Rick's wife is going to make him sleep in the bathroom tub tonight.
A dark horse candidate of where I may eventually want to end up living for good.
Welcome to a brand new sports show experience coming through your wavelengths. Let's get ready to have some fun. So sit back, crack open a drink, and let's talk some sports.
All right, here.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. So I have a process. I need the whole song to get in the show.
You gotta get all psyched up for it. Holy cow. Hey, welcome to the BAM Sports Show. I wasn't planning on being here, but here I am.
So far away.
I know.
Can't
As you
see
can
your pretty face.
I'm setting up for my charity event, Extra Life. Do it every year. We'll post a link and you can donate to it. All the money goes to my local Children's Miracle Network Hospital.
Yeah.
It's great. 100% of your donation.
He also has COVID and he has to stay 6 feet away from us. That's why.
I have to say 6 feet away from the camera. I've got COVID 2.
Yeah.
It's the sequel.
Yeah, you'll get a computer virus.
That's funny.
How you guys?
Hey, guys.
Doing well, man. Doing real well.
Good.
Been a little bit since I've been on the show, but happy to be back.
Me too. It's been off for 2 weeks.
It's been a week for me.
I was here last week.
Keith is the faithful one.
Holding it down. Hey, I was being faithful to my wife by going on an anniversary trip with her.
Oh.
Hey-o. Congratulations, man.
So what do you guys want to start with?
Let's talk about your anniversary.
It was good. It was good. It rained. It was cold. It was very cold in St. Louis.
That's cuddling weather.
Mm-hmm.
You put the boot on her like,
oh, I'm getting cold. We need to get closer together to stay warm.
Oh, boy.
Oh my.
So we have the trade deadline. But first, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Congratulations to your 2023 World Series champion, Texas Rangers.
And
fantastic World Series.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Fantastic. I mean, the whole playoffs was great.
They were good this year.
They were very good. I was very happy to see it. Obviously, I'm a Cardinals fan first and foremost, but I like the Texas Rangers. A lot of fond memories growing up. But man, like, how cool is it for them? I don't want to veer off to football just yet, but one note that I will say with regards to the Texas Rangers, as it relates to football, is now you have the XFL champion Arlington Renegades, playing in the stadium that the Rangers used to play at.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have the Texas Rangers, like two Arlington teams. I hope that is not,
God,
news to the Cowboys.
God, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Hey, you know what? They could, though.
I'll block out this one.
Let's give them their flowers.
I would say big congratulations to the Rangers. Honestly, I didn't really care which one was going to win because those are the two that when they made it, I was like, man, those are kind of like the underdog. I won't say they're the underdogs, but they were have a hard time getting into the playoffs, and they finally did, and they actually both made it to the World Series. Like, man, I'm not rooting against any one of these teams, but I'll say something that's and there's no way you can probably fix it that I can think of on the top of my head. But the saddest things is to win the World Series in an away game. So it's just quiet.
I disagree.
Your own team. You love that? No fireworks, no anything.
It feels great. It felt great. I cried.
Just a silent stadium. It's like, oh man, that kind of hurts. No confetti
and a happy belated to those who celebrate the Cubs World Series victory in 2016. That was yesterday. It was the anniversary.
7 years ago. 8, 7, and 10, boys.
All right. As the neutral party, I will say that was the best World Series I've ever seen.
It was.
I disagree.
It was a great
7th game. Going
Rick.
Extra innings.
No.
Look at it unobjectively.
Sure, 100%. And I'm going to sound like a homer here, but honest to God, like the Rangers Cardinals World Series. Outside of, I'm a little bit
Are
somewhat
you talking
biased
about the
because I
freeze
like,
years?
That had
Yeah.
one big moment.
that went 7 games, and it was a great World Series.
That had a great story with David Freeze for sure.
Yeah.
He's a hometown kid, right?
Yep, he sure is.
Yeah. Good for him. Good for them, I guess. Hey,
And I will say, I'll tell you this much, as much as I want to give the Texas Rangers their flowers, which again, I'm super stoked that the Texas Rangers won the World Series, but man, you gotta feel bad for Arizona sports fans in general. They've now lost a World Series, a Super Bowl, and I believe an NBA championship too at one point.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken.
So Diamondbacks, didn't they win one?
I don't think that they've won one, or maybe if they did, it was forever ago.
It would have been when I was in high school, I think. Let me check.
So Arizona just hasn't won any championship.
Well, let's actually
the
just
Coyotes and the Suns.
Let's be real here. Arizona is a state where people shouldn't exist. It's hot.
They won in 2001. They won
when I was in high school, exactly.
Was Shaq playing with them back then? Because he played a year with the Suns, right?
I don't know.
Oh no, we're talking about the Diamondbacks.
I don't think Shaq was playing for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, Diamondbacks won in 2001. It was against the Yankees, I think.
Oh, that's right. That with Randy Johnson was playing with them, right?
Yeah, that was the year.
Okay.
It was right after 9/11.
I do remember that. Not 2000.
But man,
at
least as of recently, they just cannot seem to catch a break. I mean, they won the National League obviously, which is great. But damn, I kind of feel bad for them because it seems like just as of late, there has not been a whole lot of good news with Arizona sports. They get into the World Series, which is still just making it there is not an accomplishment to scoff at whatsoever.
There's still a team who hasn't done it before.
So I disagree a little bit there, just on the fact that they came in they had to be so hot to even make it to the playoffs, and I think just making it to the playoffs was enough for that team. And the fact that they went to the World Series, they completely over what they should have been.
1000%. I think you're kind of misunderstanding my point here. So 1000%, I'm super stoked for them, that they heavily exceeded expectations. Really more what I was getting at is just that, you finally do fans. Make it right. Yeah. You get to that point, and this is finally, you have a Arizona sports team, that has a chance at a championship. I'd have to look, but I believe since the Diamondbacks were last in the World Series. I don't know about the Suns. I'm not, much of a basketball guy, but finally you get some good news. And then I don't remember the year that Kurt Warner took the Cardinals to the Super Bowl. I imagine obviously it had to been it. Well, yeah, I guess that would have been more recent than the Diamondbacks because 2001 Kurt Warner was still with the Rams. But anyhow, just you don't get a shot at a championship in quite some time, and all that hype. They have nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever. Just like you said, I think the letdown. I kind of feel bad for them, but at the same time, I feel super stoked for the Texas Rangers. I can remember back when they went to back-to-back World Series in 2010 and 2011. I think they played the Giants in 2010, lost to them, and then obviously against the Cardinals there in 2011.
Yeah. And that was the start of the 2010. I think that was the start of the Giants every other year bullshit that they did. They won in 10, they won in 12, they won in 14 or something like that.
Yeah, they had
a hell of a team, man.
Yeah, they definitely kind of rebuilt in between some of those two pretty quick too, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of feel like with Arizona though, going back to what Rick was saying, I kind of as a sports fan or a baseball fan of a team who's never been to the World Series, I feel like losing that many games, like being like, because they won one game in that series, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
I feel like it's kind of a slow death. You kind of bleed out by by this game when the Rangers won, you're pretty much kind of have come to terms with the fact that you're not winning the World Series. So, and it's something that happens across the week, where a Super Bowl, it's
a day,
3 hour, just rip
done.
your heart out kind of thing. So I think by this game, I would feel like a lot of people in Arizona, I would imagine, maybe it's not true, would be like, hey, listen, coming in second out of 30 teams is pretty fucking unbelievable.
It's that age-old question of like Jason Kelsey talks about it in that, was it the documentary or whatever?
His brother's dating a superstar.
Shannon says the worst part for Arizona fans, even more so
Exactly.
to getting so close like that, is that they live in Arizona.
It's very true. I said that. People shouldn't exist in that hellscape.
The Suns lost in 2021 in the championship.
2021.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Wow.
they
That recently?
Not a basketball
God
guy.
dang,
so.
man.
I didn't realize it was that
that recent.
So
Yeah, it was literally 2021 to the Bucks.
But it goes to that question of like, okay, what's worse, making it and losing, but you still made it, or just not making it at all? I think that I hang my hat on, like, I would rather make it to the World Series, and then get blown out like they did.
Yeah, I mean, because hell, like
versus just not making it at all.
They're still National League champions.
Exactly.
They won something. They didn't.
They're gonna have a banner.
You're gonna have the pennant.
As a fan of a team who's made it to several NFC Championship games.
Shut up, Keith.
No, I'm siding with you.
Yeah.
I would have much rather have won those games, gone to the Super Bowl, and lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and like I get Jason's point of like, it hurts more to make it and then lose it, but like that's kind of being a negative little bitch, to be honest. Like, be happy you fucking made it. You made the Super Bowl.
And both
you
teams
beat everybody else in your division, in your conference,
and
you
both
made the Super Bowl.
And both teams like squeaked into the playoffs too, which is so cool. And it wasn't just your typical teams that you always see, LA or Philly to a degree, but I feel like
Philly was a good team this year.
Yeah.
They were. I'm just glad Houston didn't make it.
And
again.
Houston, yeah.
Everybody,
like
America's happy.
No one won another LA, Houston. No one likes the Yankees, even Boston, or even if the Giants win it again, it just seems like it's always the core, these 5 teams, and everyone else is the farm teams. And I feel like the 2 farm teams made it to the World Series. And that made me
it's so weird that bringing up Boston, the Red Sox there, and this is a completely random anecdote, but for some weird reason, the Boston Red Sox, like in general, like I'm not a fan of any. Well, I'm not a fan of any Boston sports team, but I genuinely dislike most Boston sports teams, except for the Red Sox for some reason. I'm not a fan, mind you, but I don't have a vitriol towards them. Like
I'm trying to delete that.
Is it because you hate the Yankees like I do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hate the Yankees for sure.
Yeah, they're my least favorite sports team. So I don't know.
You hate the Yankees more than the Astros?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it's close, but I still hate
I agree.
Yankees
I'm
more.
the same way. Now the Cowboys are my least favorite sports team, but for sure the Yankees are my least favorite baseball.
Favorite sports team.
Hi. I'm the problem. It's me.
It's the Cardinals.
Oh, that was me.
Actually, no, it's the Packers.
That was me. It's you.
Look at it. This fucking MVP thing behind Keith.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And the championships right there.
Yeah.
I know you can't read it. It's a giant
championship.
Chips.
I was
There's
talking about
4.
for Aaron Rodgers because you
Hey.
have like Aaron Rodgers right there, and you got the BAM Sports logo like kind of covering up the thing there.
That's Lambo.
Remember that NFC Championship game where Green Bay was ahead by 16 points with 3.5 minutes left?
Yeah, I do.
You remember that?
Keith, do you remember that one?
That was cool.
How'd that Super Bowl go for you?
I don't remember. I blacked out.
Have you seen Marshawn talk about that? The clips of him on Shannon's podcast,
where he went and laughed at
Marshawn Lynch is awesome.
He's my favorite.
He's a treasure.
I honestly, I've never owned the first football jersey I've owned because they're expensive and I don't have money is my Fields jersey that I got for Christmas last year.
Burn it.
Cool. Great. Love it. I really want a Marshawn Lynch jersey.
Yeah.
He's just
my
first
favorite jersey of the Seahawks that I got. I made it a point, like when I decided I was going to go with the Seahawks, I made it a point to specifically get a Marshawn Lynch jersey.
And
he is, personality wise, he's like by far my all-time favorite player. He's some days I feel more strongly towards Steven Jackson. Some days I feel more strongly towards Marshawn Lynch, so it's kind of a 1A, 1B type of situation, just depending on the day of the week. But no, I love Marshawn. He's awesome. And plus, doesn't he have like a partial ownership or like some type of stake in the Seattle Kraken?
I think he does.
He might.
Yeah.
Man, that motherfucker's a year younger than I am. Damn.
That's crazy because I think of him as being so old.
I hate looking up players' ages and finding out I'm like older than all the players. Like I'm almost.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
The more years go on, it gets worse. There's people younger than I am as head coaches in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like McVay's like 2 years older than me.
But then in the reverse of that can also be true and kind of, sobering to think about. Like, look at, Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick, who are just old as shit. And Pete Carroll's in great shape for his, like, he's 70 something years old and he's like out there running around, and just anyway.
Okay. We're transitioning a little further, smoother into football. Last question before we get to scores and picks and the trade deadline and all that. Is Marshawn Lynch a Hall of Famer?
I think so.
I think he is.
I agree. I think he is. I don't think he's a first ballot, or I don't think he's like a unanimous guy or anything like that. But I mean, what? 5 times in the Pro Bowl, 84 touchdowns, over 10,000 yards. He was healthy.
The Beast Quake.
The Hold My Nuts.
Yeah.
That alone, that's a Hall of
Fame. Part 2 against Arizona. The exact same route.
I also loved it. I don't know if you guys remember when it was a few years ago, Russ was still playing for the Seahawks, and they're like vying for a playoff spot, and like all of their running backs get injured. And I think he had just left the Raiders, and they brought him back, and people are throwing Skittles out onto the field and shit. And finally they get there to the 1 yard line, and Pete Carroll this time was smart enough to, use Marshawn Lynch at the goal line. And he ends up doing this amazing. You could tell he had obviously lost a step, but he was running as violent as his body would let him do so in that game. But anyway,
he left it all out.
He does this amazing like dive over the pile, into the end zone for a touchdown. Like he's got just about every 49ers player within quite literal striking distance, just trying to like uppercut the ball out of his hand. Skills are flying out onto the field and shit. And it was fantastic.
That was
Skittles are not my favorite thing that have been thrown on the field.
Yeah. I know exactly
what
What's funny too is like just watching that in real time on TV. And I think even the broadcasters thought, oh, there's a flag on the field. Until you watch the replay and you can watch the doing.
So I'm looking on Reddit right now, the cesspool of the internet. Well, it's not as bad as 4chan, but I'm on the NFL subreddit, and this was 4 years ago. Most of the people on there say Seattle Ring of Honor, but not a chance for the Hall of Fame, which I just disagree. I mean, you look at the run that he went on. He had such a powerful 4-year run. All right, here's the running backs that have gotten in the 2010s. You got Terrell Davis, who, yeah, great. LT, obviously, for that 3 years, he was the greatest. Jerome Bettis, Curtis Martin, Marshall Faulk, Floyd Smith, Emmett Smith. I think if Curtis Martin makes it, and I feel like Marshawn should make it in.
It's sorry. Go ahead, Danny.
I was gonna say compare him like Marshawn Lynch to any other running backs in the 10-year span. I mean, I think there's arguably guys who are better, but I think he's absolutely in the same tier of anyone else in that 10-year span.
Which is, and not to change subject a little bit here, but that's part of why I feel bad, because I feel that Steven Jackson, I feel deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but because of how ass the Rams were, he probably won't. But the guy had 8 consecutive seasons of over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, it's
and was a phenomenal pass catcher. Was a he essentially 250-pound guy going for 1,000 yards receiving and rushing. I think at least 1 or 2 times, but either way, 8 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons.
Which I think, okay, I'm a big proponent of a big haul. You know what I mean? There's people that they have the debate, small haul versus big haul. Do you let more people in? Do you let less people in? The less people you make in, the more special it is.
Right.
But the more people, you're celebrating the game, you're celebrating the era, you're celebrating, what they did on the field. And I think that for his era, Marshawn was one of the best running backs. You know what I mean? For that space of time. And I think that alone, should put him at least in the conversation.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I agree.
Trade deadline. Some fireworks, man. Some good stuff happening.
Yeah.
Let's I want to talk about the trades that didn't happen though first, because there was some
talks.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, I was hoping
Derrick Henry.
Where was he where was he supposed to go? And then the Titans, the general manager or someone or owner, end up vetoing it.
I don't think he was. Was there anything specific about him going somewhere? I think they were just trying to, hey, good time to rebuild.
The specific place I think was the Ravens.
That's what I was thinking. Baltimore. Yeah, which
would
have made perfect sense.
Yeah.
That's what the smoke was online.
Allegedly, I don't know how true this is, but I saw somewhere in my feed that I can't remember if it was the GM or the owner rather had vetoed no, we're not trading Derrick Henry.
Which I don't think really makes sense because he's 28 years old, so he's probably he might have one more solid year left.
He's already taking a back seat to Tajay Spears, it seems like, in that offense.
No, I think it's more of a 50-50.
I don't even think it's that.
But he's a rookie.
I think it's right. Spears looks great, but I don't think it's even 50-50 yet. He's got most of it. But their best wide receiver, Hopkins, I think he's in his 30s, so he's definitely getting old. They have a rookie quarterback who's kind of showing the mayonnaise boy starting to show up a little bit.
Man.
I just think it's man, this is the time to rebuild, man. You sell off, trade Hopkins, trade Derrick Henry. You got a rookie running back, a rookie quarterback that look, fairly decent. At least what little they've shown so far. I think
they lost.
You got to do it now.
They lost last night, but I think he looked great. I think he looked fine. He looked good. He looked the part.
He held up to the pressure, and there was a lot of pressure on his face last night.
But you can't expect.
When I was looking at it, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You can't expect Derrick Henry to be looking like this good for the next 3 years, though. I mean, this is
No.
he's on probably his last leg here. So
I mean, to be fair to him, though, he is a fucking physical specimen.
Yeah, a 6'4" running back is pretty crazy.
He's huge.
250 pounds.
He's literally built like a brick shit house.
He is a Yeti.
Yeah.
And I was going to say for Will Levis, and I think I remember hearing, this is kind of almost to a fault, something he dealt with in college, was he doesn't sense pressure whatsoever. Like he doesn't try to run away from it. He'll stay in the pocket, but I think he's almost got like a blind spot, if you will. He doesn't really sense pressure. I mean, the guy, he took 4 sacks last night.
He took a lot of big hits.
Yeah.
But he had TJ Watt chasing him all night.
I was going to say a really good defense, playing against them. So that's
true.
That's pretty tough.
I was surprised that the Steelers were able to run on the Titans like they were. The Titans have one of the better run defenses. Usually that's a pretty brutal matchup for running backs, and Najee Harris for the most part has sucked this year.
Yeah, he looked good yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave for a second, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay.
No, my son something's going up with him, so I got to run upstairs real quick. Be right back. You guys go ahead and talk amongst yourself. The one thing I was going to say is the Jets reached out to like everybody for wide receiver help.
Yeah. Devontae Adams, I think they were trying to get, and
I'll be right back.
Garrett Wilson. Yep.
Hey, that's some news. Because when I talked about it last week about the Raiders kind of imploding, like just everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's fired. I think they're even their running backs coach. I think it was some off the field stuff, but he got shit canned.
Yeah.
And then obviously the big news there is the head coach and I want to say either the offensive coordinator,
the GM got fired too.
The GM, the head coach, and the offensive coordinator got fired. I think with the running backs coach, you're thinking of the Bears.
Okay. Gotcha. Maybe that's
the
what
Bears
it was.
running back coach got fired.
But it was like something off, like
they didn't give details.
Yeah.
No.
But snapshot count between Henry and Spears. Sorry to go backwards.
Yeah, go.
Henry so far this year has taken 279. Spears is 256. So it's
pretty close.
It's pretty close.
Snaps.
Okay.
Yeah, snaps.
Damn. Wait. Well. That's different than touches, though, too.
Well, we were talking about snap counts, though.
You want? I mean, that's like, what about carries? I feel like it's a more important stat.
I gave you what you asked for.
I didn't ask for that.
Brian did, but he's not here anymore.
Oh, okay. Anyway. Yeah, I took Spears out of my fantasy football match just like literally like a minute before they went on, and it. Looking back, I would have been happy to get those 12 points from Spears.
I started Henry in Stevens league, and
looked pretty good.
He ended up doing. I have Spears as well.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson broke his 600 game streak without a touchdown last night.
Yeah. Well, he's getting crazy volume.
Yeah.
I don't know what his targets were last night, but I know last week it was like 14 targets. Last night I know it was.
He was definitely the featured receiver.
He is the alpha there. George Pickens be damned.
George Pickens blew a touchdown last night.
Dude, he had to stretch out to like toe that out of bounds there.
Deontay Johnson had 9 targets for 7 catches, 90 yards last night.
Yeah. So some other NFL trades, obviously for Danny and I, the Seahawks, we end up trading for Leonard Williams, defensive tackle from the New York Giants. He's going to help stop. He'll be a really, really good, kind of one of my chief complaints during the draft is that we didn't really shore up on our D line, other than the trade for, the guy from the Packers, or excuse me, the Broncos. His name, Draymond Jones. But aside from him, we really didn't do anything in the draft. Well, now we've got an extra piece, to bulk up that front line, on defense.
Baltimore.
We're definitely going to need it in Baltimore. He is a great run defender. Very, very happy about that.
Maybe it's a little too soon to pivot. Maybe we plan on talking about this a little later, but XFL merging together, and the rumor is that Seattle Dragons are getting the axe, which would really suck.
Yeah, for sure. I know St. Louis is safe. Like they're already. You look at any of their social media pages, like they're already, doing like pre-sale, like season tickets type thing.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it makes sense. They're one of the more popular teams. I'm sure San Antonio is probably safe. But yeah, it sucks. I still have mixed feelings. I think that I have mixed feelings about the whole thing because I really enjoyed the XFL, and I hate that some of the teams are getting the axe. But with that being said, I think that a merger ultimately could be a very good thing. Yeah. Like long term. Short term, there's probably going to be some things that we're annoyed with. But I think long term, 5-10 years down the line, we'll be very happy that this merger happened.
Yeah. Now, these teams that are coming in from the USFL are they actually going to have a home field now? Like, are the Pittsburgh Maulers actually going to have a Pittsburgh field?
I have no idea.
Or are they all just going to play in Birmingham still?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine with this merger. I could not imagine that. I mean, they may still adopt, because I know like this. So this past year for the USFL, instead of playing all their games in Birmingham, they had like 4 different cities that they played in.
Yeah.
And so you had like 2 teams sharing the Detroit, the Lions Stadium, essentially, between the Michigan Panthers and I want to say the Philadelphia Stars shared the Detroit Lions field. And so I think that what you'll probably see is something in the middle where I think they'll still have kind of a hub city model. Although in a way the XFL was already kind of doing that too. That like the entire league was headquartered out of Arlington, and they would practice in Arlington and then, go essentially really like they just had their entire season was essentially away games. Even in their home games. But I think that what you'll see is probably something in the middle of that. I have no doubt in my mind that like they would be batshit crazy if they did not include St. Louis and open as many damn seats as they could at that place.
I think that was to me, that's the biggest killer with the USFL was when you just, even if you're just casually watching, you're like, oh, okay, this is football, whatever, it's fun. The moment, if just a casual observer, the moment you see that there's only 50 people in like a 30,000, seat stadium, that's just like, oh, well, this is shitty football. Click, and watch something else.
Right.
You just instantly just looks like, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're watching a comedy show on TV or a concert and you look to the stands and you see it's just empty. That just you're gonna make you not want to watch it. It just absolutely kills it.
The one skosh of credit that I'll give them, I was reading on a USFL kind of explaining things, is they're trying to essentially treat it like a very slow cooked meal. Like essentially right now, they're just saving their resources using this hub model and like slowly building up. Like the year before, it was just Birmingham. And then they started expanding out. You had Memphis, you had Detroit, and I forget what other 2 cities. But what I will say is that the home teams that actually had a home stadium, like Memphis, their crowd, they actually had decent crowds at the games. And the Michigan Panthers, now mind you, I really didn't pay a ton of attention to the USFL, but the few kind of snippets of the Michigan Panthers games and the Memphis Showboats, and of course the Birmingham Stallions, but those 3 teams in particular, it looked like they had solid attendance. Nowhere near
Birmingham,
I think some of the XFL teams, like San Antonio, St. Louis, and DC, nowhere near, the types of crowds that those teams had, but respectable for what it was, respectable crowds, I think, nonetheless.
Do you know what the Birmingham numbers were like when they would have home games?
I'm not sure. It's a smaller stadium. I remember that.
It looked like it was always pretty damn full. Every time I see pictures of those.
Yeah, let me see here. What's the name of their Birmingham Stallions? So they play.
Is their attendance?
Yeah. Attendance 2023.
Total attendance was 36.
On the year?
62,000. Yeah.
Well, I know it's where they play is not a huge. It's a smaller protective stadium is what it's called, which has a total seating capacity of 47,100. So I mean, it's
Still,
not a massive stadium.
I don't know. I feel like I still think doing it,
but it was aesthetically more pleasing for sure.
Sure, I just think playing in an empty stadium. Okay, so it's decent. I mean, I'm always against playing in a stadium that's going to have 50 people. But if you're going to do it like that, I almost feel like it'd be better, if possible, to play in a stadium where you don't let anyone in the field and maybe just cut the lights off in the stadium so you can't see the stands and you just have lights directly on the field somehow. I don't even know if that's like feasible, but man, it just looks look terrible.
Do what Birmingham did and what the DC Defenders did. All Audi Field. It's not. It's a soccer stadium. It's not a big stadium at all. But man,
just fill it up.
The crowds at those damn DC Defenders games.
Oh yeah. But they're getting way more people than if you have two out-of-town teams coming into Birmingham, and you can't even get high school football numbers there.
Right.
That's awful.
I got the Pittsburgh Maulers versus, the Michigan Panthers in Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah. So, but yeah, I agree. I hope that whatever ends up coming of this, I think that really I could see it going one of two ways. Either it's going to be a great thing, that ends up advancing spring football forward in a big way, or it's going to completely tank it, which I worry about because, I've really, really genuinely come to love the St. Louis Battlehawks. I mean, obviously I'm a little bit biased there, but damn, like it's cool having a team in my city. And I love the rules of the XFL. Like, honestly, just on rules alone, Shannon said, just put cardboard cutouts in the stands like they did in boxing during the pandemic.
Yeah. Just say like, oh no, we're still doing COVID shit. We can't let people in here.
Yeah.
They all want to come here. We promise. We just can't let them in. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Anyway. But those regulations. Anyway,
for me, anyway, just I liked if we're going just off of style of play and the rules, I'll be bold enough to say I actually enjoyed the XFL more than I did the NFL in that one particular regard.
With the new rules,
like the rules, like the you're not able to kick a field goal after a touchdown or the 4th and 15, all the stuff like that. The kickoff rules, like I thought it was so much more entertaining.
I do like those rules a lot more for sure. Kind of curious if the USFL had any rules that they want to bring over in this merger.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I remember they're the ones originally who were bringing in those. What was it? The Sky Judge. Didn't they start that before the XFL? And they're just getting those reviews super quick, like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
I love that. Now the NFL is doing that.
Yeah, so and I loved how transparent the XFL was with that whole process.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
But getting away from spring football, going back to the NFL, the trade deadline, we did see some moves happen. Obviously, Kirk Cousins out for the season. You hate to see it. Kirk Cousins, likable guy for the most part. So they end up trading for Josh Dobbs as the Arizona Cardinals. What do you guys think happens with the Vikings rest of the way?
I mean, you don't make a move like that if you don't plan on trying to compete. So, the North is gettable.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
All right.
What'd I miss?
We talking about
Ryan.
We talked a little XFL, USFL merger, and now we're talking the Vikings having traded for Josh Dobbs. And where do you feel like the Vikings go the rest of the way without Kirk Cousins?
I don't think that changes their trajectory at all, to be very honest with you guys.
I think barely make it over.
Good about them. You certainly can't feel good about them.
I feel worse for the Vikings than I did before.
I think they're 9-8.
Even, Justin Jefferson is coming back.
Maybe.
No, he's coming back.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to talk about him staying out long term.
Well, not long term, but I don't know when he's coming back. I heard rumors he might not be back after the 4 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a shame. What else? Trades.
The Montez
Leonard
Sweat.
Williams.
I want Ryan's opinion on the Montez Sweat trade.
Oh yeah, Montez Sweat to the Bears
for a second.
I like it.
Do you like it if they don't sign him long term?
No.
Yeah, you want for a second round pick. Yeah, you want. To me, if you trade anybody for a second round draft back, you're taking them you're going to re-sign him.
Yeah, I mean, I get what people say, and I get like, oh, they didn't even have a deal worked out, and yada yada yada. We don't know that. We don't. There's no way we can know that.
Right.
I don't feel like, and they did trade for Chase Claypool with a second, so maybe he just doesn't like second round picks. I don't know, but I just don't feel like you're going to spend that kind of draft capital
for a year. They know they're not going to win this year.
Right. For a year, you're punting.
Yeah.
We needed the help. Sure. And yes, this does, even if we don't get them to a long-term deal right away, we can still franchise tag them. We can still transition tag them. We have those rights. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It also gives us a head start on everybody else to talk about signing him. Between the two, would I have rather given up a third round for Chase Young? No. I like the second for Montez Sweat more than the third for Chase Young because I don't feel like I think Chase Young has the star power, the name, the recognition, but I feel like Sweat has the higher floor and he doesn't have the injury history.
Yeah, but I tell you what, that Niners defense, I know they've had a rough past few weeks, but damn.
They did get better.
Damn.
Well, not last week, but
yeah, no, but just by way of the Chase Young trade. Mm-hmm. Shit, that's going to be a scary defense.
Yeah,
maybe.
At least on paper, that should be an absolutely terrifying defense between Bosa, Chase Young, Warner. I forget the guy's first name. Fred Warner.
Yep.
I was going to say Frank, but I was like, that's not right.
I know that was exactly what was going through my mind too. Yeah, Fred Warner. On paper. And hell, I mean, they looked like a brutal defense to start the year. Although, hey, I'm cool. Like, I hope they continue to suck. But
yeah, it's weird having Seahawks number one round. It didn't feel right. Like, I don't believe it, especially with the schedule, the way schedule is for the next 5 weeks. It's like, I don't think we're staying in first. It's nice right now. I enjoy it, but I just don't feel like we're supposed to be in first place.
I'll tell you what. Like, I think that we can definitely compete. I don't think that. the upcoming schedule is definitely going to be kind of a gauntlet, but I love what our defense is doing. I think we have a dynamic offense. Gino has some things here and there he needs to clean up, but you're seeing a lot of like those new pieces that he has, like really starting to kind of break out and find their place on the team, if you will.
Yeah.
Bobo's kind of an unexpected surprise.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba starting to become, kind of a more consistent part of that offense. Zach Charbonnet looks good.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker.
Still
looks good.
Yeah. K9 still looks
solid
good.
Piece.
The Witherspoon guy looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Illinois, baby.
Oh yeah.
That's for you, right?
Thanks.
Defensive rookie of the month.
Awesome. I love that kid.
Yeah.
Him and Tariq Woolen is such a nasty combo back there.
Did you guys talk about the
No.
the Leonard Williams trade?
Yes.
We did.
Okay.
We did.
Happy about that, I'm sure.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I love that move. I think it kind of gives us a semi-complete defense.
Did you talk about Rasul Douglas, Keith?
We did
No,
not.
I did not. Not happy about it.
Got a 2024 third for Rasul.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I love Rasul.
Oh, Rasul and a fifth.
Yeah, Rasul and a fifth, yeah.
Yeesh.
I didn't love
outside of the Josh Dobbs trade and Mecole Hardman back to the Chiefs, I don't know of any offensive players of note. Those are the only two offensive players that I could think of that got traded.
I feel like the Josh Dobbs one is a pretty big trade. I think that's probably the biggest one. Biggest offensive trade, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, yes, the Vikings had to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah.
Well, you're not thinking about the linemen. The Jags picked up Ezra Cleveland.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Ezra Cleveland
for a day 3 for a 2024 sixth.
That was a hell of a trade.
To be real with you, that was a steal.
Yeah.
NFL.com writers are giving the Vikings a C on that.
Yep. Well, it makes me love my Trevor Lawrence investment all the more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, you guys want to do some NFL picks?
Let's do it.
Cool.
All right. Do we want to talk about the scores last week or just skip it?
Let's jump straight into picks.
I mean, I can go over. You want to know how you did last week, everybody?
Sure.
I don't do this for nothing, okay? Damn it.
Yeah.
Our special guest last week and Ryan tied with 10-4. So good job, boys. And then
Thanks.
Rick and me went 8-5, and Blake lost at 7-6. So, much better than last week when Rick got 2 right.
Well, that is a lot
me.
better. All right, let's start.
You got 2 right.
We're going to Frankfurt, Germany.
You're
The
going
Sunday
for Frankfurt.
morning. The Sunday morning game. Dolphins, Chiefs.
In Tyreek Hill's first game against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
It's in Germany.
So the line is KC minus 1.5. So it's a close game. I'm going to pick the Dolphins in this one, and I hate it.
Your paper.
I think that Tyreek Hill, I mean, that's him and Waddle. Like, there's not many defensive backfields that are going to keep up with that speed. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Yeah.
Tyreek did just set a record. Like, he's one of 5 players to reach 1,000 yards in 8 games.
Yeah.
That's
He's
nuts.
having a crazy
That is
season.
insane. I've got him in 2 of my leagues too. Very happy about that.
Same.
I have him in 1. Thank God I have him.
What
So
about
Keith, who you got?
I got the Finns. The Chiefs are scary bad right now. They're not playing very well. When they put up 9 points last week, I lost all faith.
Yeah, they not only lost to the Broncos, they got their asses kicked by the Broncos.
Now, was Mahomes sick or something?
Mahomes had the flu or something.
He was pooping. He was
like apparently it all went through the Mahomes family, and the Swifties kind of freaked out a little bit because Brittany was
Swiftie
next
wasn't
to
at the game.
Well, no, but Brittany was next to Taylor at that game. At the game before that.
Who gives a shit?
And so was Jackson.
Good.
Man.
You probably won't see Taylor much at many more games, okay? Because she's got the Air Tour starting in Europe.
Oh, then shit. Then you almost have to pick the Dolphins then.
Wait, you said she's in Europe right now?
I don't know if she's there yet, but her European tour is starting soon.
Isn't Germany in Europe?
Some people say that.
Germany's in Europe.
The theory, the prevailing theory is yes, Germany is in Europe.
Well, I'm gonna go against the grain here. I'm gonna pick the Chiefs. The Dolphins this year, while they have been awesome, anytime they've played a good team, they've lost. The Chiefs have, obviously, it depends on how Patrick Mahomes is feeling, but assuming, he's been pretty aggressive about getting rid of whatever crud he's dealing with, then I think that the Chiefs should win this game. I don't think that Patrick Mahomes is going to, take that ass whooping that he got from a terrible team last week too terribly lightly. And like I said, the Dolphins, every time they've played a good team, they lost to the Bills, they lost to the Eagles. Anytime they've had a test in front of them, they've lost. And I think that Kansas City also has a very, very quietly good defense.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I understand why the line is, KC minus 1.5. I just these fucking Europe games are just so weird to call.
They are.
Yeah. I'm going to take Kansas City also. This really isn't anything to do with the talent of either team. This is more of just kind of football philosophy, I think. With the Chiefs coming off of such a huge loss, I just think they're just going to play lights out, kitchen sink. Like, I just feel like they're going to play like this is the game they're going to play harder than they've played any other game this year. And yeah, I just think that's how it's going to go. I'm going to be rooting the hell out of the Dolphins because I hate the Chiefs.
Same.
But yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs.
All right. Vikings, Falcons.
Barf.
Josh Dobbs will not be starting this game. Neither will Desmond Ritter.
Taylor Heineke, baby.
We're Heineke season, babe.
I'm gonna get it right. Get it right. Former Battlehawk, Taylor Heineke.
Former Battlehawk, Taylor Heineken. I'm gonna just go out on a limb here and say the Falcons win this pretty easily.
Yeah.
Not for nothing, Jaron Hall. Hey, baby.
It looked like shit.
Yep. But
I hate it because the fantasy league that I'm in, we're on the number 1 team right now. I have Jordan Addison as my number 2 receiver, and so kind of worried about that.
Well,
the guy I'm playing is like the number 2.
He's still getting targets, so
that's not Miles' league, is it?
No, it's Steven's league.
God, you're killing it this year.
Except in the league that 3 out of the 4 of us here tonight are in. Just the injuries on that
fucking
Lot Lizard team have been terrible.
Aren't you doing pretty good in that league?
I'm at 500. I'm 4-4.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I'm the second highest scoring team in that goddamn league, and I'm 2-6.
I am.
Everybody has their best.
I think I have a pretty okay team, but I am bottom of the rung on that place.
Yeah.
we're all picking the Vikes or the Falcons. I mean,
Falcons.
I'm playing Falcons.
Yeah, I'm
All
taking the Falcons.
Cardinals Browns.
Gross.
I'm gonna take the Brownies.
I hate when
Likewise.
you do this.
Watson is
Taking
starting.
the Browns.
Taking the Browns.
Is he?
The Super
Yep.
Bowl. Yeah.
Yep, the Cardinals don't have the quarterback anymore.
I was gonna say I don't care who starts. In fact, like I would almost say that right now Deshaun Watson might actually be a negative for them. But
Man, I would love it if the Cardinals beat them. Because then the Bears would be in possession of the number 1 pick again.
I think the Browns defense is just lights out.
Oh, Carolina won a game. I missed that.
Yes, they did. They won last week. They beat Houston last week.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
damn. All right.
So we've got Rams going to Lambeau. Sorry, I'm gonna go a little quicker now. I got people starting to show up for the.
You're good, dude. Yeah.
Rams Packers. Give me the Rams. Sorry, Keith.
You're good. I don't give a shit.
Is Stafford?
He's a game time decision, my friend.
Jesus.
I don't
And
know.
no Stetson Bennett around.
He's
been away from the team.
It'll be ripen, rice.
What? Something crazy's going on with that dude too. By the way, I don't know what the hell's going on. I think it's boozing.
I picked against the Packers last week. You guys weren't here to see it. I picked against them. I felt dirty.
Sure you did.
I did. I picked the Vikings to win last week.
For what it's worth,
I was right.
Green Bay is 3-point favorites.
I'm taking the Packers. Even with our shitty ass defense that got worse over the week, taking the Packers.
I'm taking the Packers as well.
I thought I was right alone. Thanks, Rick.
I'll take the Rams.
All right, Commanders Patriots. Yeah, I'm gonna hope that Mac Jones balls out because I had to start Mac Jones.
Hey, Brad, did you a favor?
Gross. Although you know what, like that may not be the worst thing. No Montez Sweat, no Chase Young,
dude,
to worry about. Like that's going to be a defense to target in a fantasy now.
Brian went off on the guy who picked up Will Levis in our league because he has Dak and Matthew Stafford. And
oh wow,
it's
Brian just lost
league.
Kirk.
Yeah,
and Brian just lost Kirk.
And Fields is still out. I don't know if I have him in that league, but yeah, fucking fuck.
Fields is a free agent in that league now. I don't know if you've seen that.
Not for long.
I don't
get him.
Go get him right now.
Well, he's on waivers.
I'm gonna put a fucking waiver in, and I'm gonna spend all my money on him. Fuck it.
Oh, that reminds me.
Who are you taking? You taking the Bears?
Wait,
hold on.
We'll give
Commanders, Patriots.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the. I'm gonna pick the Patriots to squeeze this one out, but I'm gonna bet the under. The line is set at 40.5. I'm gonna hammer the under on this.
Oh yeah,
Patriots win.
I'm taking the Patriots as well.
Danny,
I'll take the Commanders. Only because I hate the Patriots. There's no.
Yeah, I think we all hate the Patriots.
There's no rhyme or reason.
If it's a coin flip, I'll just go with the team I'm rooting for.
Hey, Taylor Heineke's available in this league. Who should I start? Should I start Taylor Heineke or Mac Jones?
Heineke.
I mean, Heineke will rip it. Yeah, Heineke, he's willing to rip it.
That was more of a joke. I didn't see
Heineke
was available, and so I just dropped Mac Jones and picked up Heineke. And he's 30. That's crazy.
Wow.
I'm gonna take.
Get around.
Damn.
That's not an option. I'm gonna write Dan.
I'm gonna. Yeah,
Right,
I'll take the Patriots as well.
You got it, friend.
Am I the lone wolf? Keith, who are you picking?
You are the
lone wolf.
lone wolf. And I put you on the wrong. You're like off on the side.
Oh, there's the.
All right, so now we have the Bears Saints.
Saints.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The
and mark me down
line
for
is
Saints.
New Orleans -8. Upset of the week. Give me the Bears.
Hey.
Montez Sweat is going to have his Bears debut.
Is he?
4 sacks.
Is he actually going to play this week?
I mean,
I would assume so.
Who'd you
No,
take?
give me the
Who'd you pick,
give me
Danny?
the Saints.
Saints.
You're not lone wolfing, Ryan. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're picking the Bears too?
No, Blake did. I'm not picking
Oh.
the fucking Bears.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I have Blake's
But,
picks.
Hello.
Hi, new friend.
This
Go
is
ahead.
Ian. You know Ian.
Oh, I can't see him because of the live things and like the way.
Oh, gotcha.
I can't
All right.
see his
Seahawks, Ravens.
Sweet. That's a tough one.
Give me the Ravens. What is going on under you? Are you getting a blowjob right now?
Oh, no. I was kicking my feet. Sorry. I didn't take my Adderall today, so I'm a little. Man, that's a hard one to pick. It's in Baltimore. I'm gonna pick the Seahawks. I really like what they did, for their defensive line, and I think that makes a difference.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Ravens. As much as obviously you know who I'm rooting for.
It hurts.
I think there's also some bias with because I know I'm biased to the Seahawks. I always think they're better than they really are.
Mhm.
So I try and like counter.
You
Try to
overcorrect.
reverse. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I got to over reverse a little bit. I kind of
No,
look
I
at
mean,
the Seahawks and it's faults for all my team, and then I look at another team and I see, oh, look how great they are, and I don't see any of their faults for what they really are.
I mean, hell, they're 6-2. They're 6-2.
Mhm.
They're playing at home in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The Ravens have a very, very stout defense. Geno still has some things he needs to clean up. Our O line is still kind of patchy.
That offense for the Ravens is so hard to figure out too.
Yeah,
it
because
really
you
is too.
just break down plays like, all right, Lamar's just gonna run, try and
right
plan for that.
You're wearing a Seahawks jersey sweatshirt right now.
I know. No, I'm going to take the Ravens. I hate this. I feel dirty saying it. I obviously want the Seahawks.
Am I rolling alone? Am I the
You
only
are
one picking
rolling
the
alone,
Hawks?
sir.
Yes.
You're rolling alone.
All right.
I hope you're right.
Me too.
I know.
Bucks.
Go Ryan.
Bucks versus the Texans. Both teams 3-4. I'm gonna pick the Texans. Why not? CJ Stroud already has 1,800 yards, 9 touchdowns, and only 1 interception, which is
It's crazy
fucking
that
wild.
That an Ohio State quarterback knows how to play quarterback.
Shut up, Keith. Piece of shit. Give me the Texans.
You got it, friend. I'm
I'll
taking
take
the
Texans
Bucks.
too.
I'm taking Baker Mayfield and the Bucks.
No, I have
Who'd
to
you pick,
hope
Danny?
Baker. Who'd you pick, Danny?
Well, I said Texans, but
Don't make me erase it.
okay. I'll
I'm
stay with
just
the
kidding. I
Texans.
don't care.
You're good.
Yeah, give me the Texans.
Yeah, lone wolf over here, baby.
All right. You're on Keith Island, Carver Island. Colts
Sounds
Panthers.
like a horror movie.
It does. It's like Shutter. It's the sequel to Shutter Island.
Sequel.
Yeah.
Colts Panthers.
Are we all in agreement here?
Colts.
Yeah.
Colts.
Yeah.
The scrappy
I
Colts.
dropped my
I'm just
phone.
gonna hope the Colts. I have to hope that the Panthers lose out. I have to.
Why?
He
We
wants
have their
the
first round
overall
pick.
Oh, you do. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Giants Raiders. It does sound like Danny Dimes is coming and back and playing.
Yeah, Raiders.
The Raiders. I'm picking the Giants. I'm gonna pick a meteor action if I could. Just one right in Allegiant Stadium.
The good thing is you don't have to watch that game because there's a
That's
much better
true.
game on. There's a much better game on.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a gross game, but give me the Giants.
Yeah, the Raiders don't have an office or a coaching staff.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're taking What's that one league that Johnny Manziel was doing where it's like the fans can text in?
Oh,
the
the
next play?
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
whatever.
Yeah.
That who is it? It's T.O. currently plays in.
That's
is he playing in there?
The fan control
Yeah.
league. What?
Yeah.
I'm
Isn't he
taking the
like
Raiders, so I'll run with
60?
that one too.
Oh, all right.
That's a bold prediction,
Hey,
my friend.
Aiden O'Connell, baby, come on.
In what is probably the game of the
worst.
week, I would say, Cowboys Eagles.
Did they already play each other once this year?
No, they haven't.
They haven't played each
They're
other?
No.
This is a hard one to pick, but I'm gonna go ahead and roll
taking home
with. Yeah, I'm gonna take the home team. I'm gonna take the Eagles. Eagles are 3-0 at home.
Did you see that freaking fake push they ran last week?
Yes.
Push tush.
Fucking assholes.
Uh,
Who you got?
I got
Everybody
the
picking
Cowboys.
Eagles?
I
You're
got the
picking the Cowboys. Good
picking the
lord,
Cowboys.
Keith.
I'm all over the board this week.
I know Rick's picking the Eagles.
yeah.
Yeah, give me the Eagles.
Yep. Eagles.
I'm either going to win by a
Fly,
lot.
Eagles, fly.
lose
The
by a
Eagles
lot.
are almost like a Seahawk, right? So they're both bird teams. So you got to stick with the bird teams. And then the Sunday night game, we've got the Bills going into Cincinnati to play the Bengals. The DeMar Hamlin comeback
Ball.
game.
Oh shit! What a game for him to come back to. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the team. That's the team they played last time.
Exactly.
I don't know if he's playing.
I don't know if
He'll
he's
be-
playing or not, but
he'll be in the
like
stadium.
this is what it happened last year. I'm gonna take the.
I'm writing a B. Great.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the team that starts with a B.
Mhm.
Man, that's a hard one to choose.
Buffalo it is. You got it.
Well, this was going to be my upset, but maybe it's not really an upset because they're kind of. I mean, the Bengals started like 0-3.
Yeah, and they're 4-3 now.
Yeah, so
Maybe it started with-
maybe it's not really an upset as much, but I always feel like they got the Bills' number.
And it's
Fuck
weird
it.
too because it feels like the Bengals, at least for the past
Bengals
few
are back,
seasons,
baby.
they feel like they start the season like last year too. They started out trash.
3 seasons in a row, they just
Yeah.
start like ass. They just
Yeah.
Bengals
so
started
bad.
1-2, by the way.
Can this be my upset of the week, or is it too close of a?
I mean, the Bengals are currently favored by 2.5,
Oh,
so
fuck.
it's not technically an upset.
I need an upset, guys.
Mine's the
Yeah, give
Raiders.
me the Bengals as well. I think that the Bills, their defense, it's still decent, but it's not, with all the injuries they've had, it's not nearly as scary as
You don't think Rasul
you know.
Douglas moves the needle?
Nah, not enough.
Yeah,
He
no,
got
he's
traded
He's not
and
a
was
good
on the
player.
injury report already.
Oof.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals, and then I'll also say this is the T. Higgins coming out game for this season.
I sure hope so. I just traded for him.
Okay.
Yep, he's been riding my bench the last few weeks, so it'd be nice to
Blake
see.
would be
Oh,
happy.
hey,
You can make him a lot, Lizard.
Danny.
what are you giving for me?
Danny,
got
who
tight
playing?
end? Oh, Bengals. What?
Yeah.
Okay. Blake
Kinda
won
figured
Wolves
as
that
much.
one.
He
going
picked the Bills.
He picked the Bills, yes.
All right,
Is
and
he
then
lone
the
wolf in it?
final, the
final.
Monday night barn burner. The Chargers get another primetime game against the New York Football Jets. Yep.
Could this be my upset, or the Chargers the underdog?
Are you upset that this game is being played? Is that
Hell yes.
your upset on a Monday?
Right.
This is my upset game.
I mean, actually, I don't think it's going to be that bad of a game. I mean, the Jets look like
It's
dog
gonna
shit
be
last
bad.
week, but
Give me
for the most
Chargers.
part, recency bias. For the Jets have had some actually pretty exciting games outside of the New York Bowl last week.
I didn't.
Terrible.
I didn't even realize they had a winning record. That kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
I thought they were like, I thought they only had like 2 wins.
The 3-4 Chargers versus the 4-3 Jets. It's like fucking bizarro world here.
The Giants had -9 passing yards last week.
Jesus.
It seems like they probably should have had more. I'm gonna take the Chargers in this one though.
I too would taking the Chargers. It's fuck the Jets.
Can we make this a 4-way upset of the week?
Wait, Danny, who you got?
Chargers.
I'm gonna lone wolf it. I'm gonna take the Jets.
This is the upset here.
Blake took Jets. Yeah. Blake took the Jets.
Jets. Jets.
Well, people who are actually here, I'm taking.
Blake doesn't matter. He's not here.
Yeah,
in his own show.
Stupid 737 on their helmets. Dumb team.
Stupid. All right,
so you're gonna put like an F-16 or something. Like, no, this 737 carries way more people.
Just a Cessna on there, just a little seaplane on their helmet. 2 prop.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't you think they're cool?
I got to get out of here because we start our stream in an hour and a half.
Good luck, my friend.
All right. Best of luck.
Stay awake.
Yeah.
Don't stay awake. Don't do it.
I'm actually gonna probably take a nap at some point during the day.
Oh, you see that? Well, then you're breaking the rule. Then you're not.
No. The stream has to be for 24 hours.
6 of them.
I think you need to stay there.
Here. You see the garbage bag behind him?
Yeah, that's for taking a dump. I thought.
No, that's the bed.
That's the bed.
Yeah.
No, there's no bed back there.
Well, that's the napping area.
Yeah. No, my napping area, since this is in my house, is upstairs in my bed.
Are they going to stream like you sleeping?
I hope.
That'd be cool. Just like,
raise some good money that way.
See what Ryan's doing, just curled up. Like, he looks adorable.
All right, guys, we got to get out of here. Hour and 15. Have a good weekend.
Cool.
Let's get some good football in.
That would be great.
See you next week.
Play lots
of Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Later, fellas.
See ya.
Bye.